that although the process is automated, it's not being used. We are only using it occasionally and selectively. Then we have the fourth and last sub-program, which is research and development. And here we do planning, monitoring, and evaluation services. And we expect to have one survey. And by one survey, it means covering each of our clients or stakeholders at least once. Now, we had not finished a survey as of December due to lack of funding, but we visited 14 counties, that is overleaf, in terms of the M&E reports produced. So we hope that we can complete and do this fully in the next financial year, that is 25-26. I have indicated there the 14 that we had covered by December. So I hope we are okay that far. And the next item, therefore, I'll be covering is now to go to the policies underlying the expenditure ceilings in the 2025 budget policy statement. Now, when we looked at the 2025 budget policy statements, we saw a lot of factors, but of course we were trying to handle what relates to us. Now, we could see information on key government policies and programs to be implemented over the medium term in order to realize policies. The identification and selection of government programs is therefore informed by those same policies. The legislative and executive processes tasked with spearheading and determination of the expenditure ceilings for the various ministries, departments, and agencies as contained in the 2025 budget policy statement should therefore aim at the rationalization of the expected benefits to be derived from the implementation of the planned programs and associated costs. To ensure a realistic budget that will facilitate the implementation of government programs and policies, there is a need for broad-based consultations among the relevant parties involved in the process. This approach will ensure important programs are prioritized for funding, while those with less immediate impact to society are considered afterwards. As one of the two independent offices with the mandate to provide oversight over public funds, the control of budget plays an important role in ensuring the implementation of government programs and policies. The two key roles of my office, therefore, are as follows. Article 2285 of the Constitution mandates my office to ensure prudent management of public funds at national and county levels by authorizing all withdrawals from public funds to support the implementation of government programs. Article 2286 mandates my office to provide quarterly reports to each House of Parliament and to the President on the implementation of government programs. So in a nutshell, those would be the two key roles that my office plays in the implementation of the budget. Now, in the 2025 budget policy statement, we see a number of policies whose implementation will be directly dependent on the role of my office in the budget implementation process. What are some of these policies? I'll take you through them. If we look at the policy on the management of pending bills, In the 2025 budget policy statement, the government has underscored the need for a plan to pay all pending bills at national and county levels. Currently, pending bills at the national and county governments stand at Kenya shillings 524.07 billion and Kenya shillings 180.2 billion respectively. This policy will mitigate the losses realized by those businesses that have provided goods and services to the government in the past. So my office has continued to enforce compliance among county governments by requiring that all counties submit pending bills payment plans at the beginning of every financial year in line with the National Treasury Circular. There is also a need for constant monitoring and reporting on the pending bill status. The second policy is that on the management of the public sector wage bill. In the 2025 budget policy statement, we have identified the reduction in public sector wage bill as one of the key fiscal consolidation targets to be pursued by the government. My office has continued to monitor and report on the proportion of total revenues allocated to personnel emoluments by the national and county governments for compliance with relevant laws and regulations. Indeed, Honorable Chair, for those who have seen the county budget implementation report, you will see that it has grown quite a bit in size because we now have a segment to monitor the wage bill on a quarterly basis. The third policy is on the implementation of development projects. The fiscal consolidation policy, as contained in the 2025 budget policy statement, provides for funds to complete ongoing development projects. Further, the budget policy statement provides for an elaborate process for the selection of new projects that will ensure that only those projects with net positive returns are funded in the medium term. My office will continue to undertake monitoring and reporting on the implementation of government programs and projects at the county government level. Due to inadequate funding, my office has not been able to monitor the implementation of projects at the national government level. From the foregoing, the budgetary provisions, and here I refer to the control of budget limits in the 2025 budget policy statement, will be vital in ensuring effective implementation and reporting on the implementation of government policies. It should be noted that in subsequent years, additional budgetary allocation to the office will be important in ensuring that the office plays a more expanded role in the realization of government policies and agenda. Further to that, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, I have attached the Annex 3A, which now shows us the budget that we prepared, and it also goes on to show the budget policy statement ceilings and the variances. So these variances are crucial to understand because, as I have outlined, there are a number of activities we have been unable to date to carry out due to low funding. So if we see Annex 3A, it goes again in the same format as the first budget, and we have the head, we have title and details. Then we have the budget of 24-25 after supplementary 1. Then we have the 25-26 OCOB proposed estimates, and we'll be seeing that those estimates, if you look overleaf, Honorable Chair, you will see the difference that from 704 we had proposed a budget of 1.633 billion. So I may not have to go through unless you think it's necessary, Honorable Chair.
No, you don't have to go through.
I don't have to go through this. But basically what we are saying, overleaf, is that we had a variance of, from our budget, of 855. That is the D minus B. So we have been allocated 777.5 million, which is less than 50% of what we asked for. And the reasons why we would want more are again given on Annex 3B. So here is where I have given notes for each particular area which is underfunded. Again, I don't want to go through every item, but I would like us to look at the summary which is on Annex 2B, which are the key and funded areas in terms of what we intend to achieve in the financial year 25-26. Page 14. Page 14 of the report, Annex 2B. If we are there, then we can look at these key and funded areas. Number 1, personnel emoluments. We sought 718.5 million, but we were allocated 529, giving a variance of 182.8. Now, this is where I had said I would explain. In the last 1.5 years, my office has been preparing a new career progression guideline. This is because, honorable members, ever since the Office of the Control of Budget was promulgated, there has been no career progression guidelines. So those people who are employed as far back as 2012, they are still in the same position. It is little wonder that they have been disappearing. So, with the help of Public Service Commission and SRC, we have put together human resource instruments in terms of the career progression guideline to show how the officers will be growing within their career and develop their talent. This comes with some long deserving growth in terms of promotions and also new positions for those areas that we have been unable to cover, which I have outlined in my report. That requires 182.8. This is a figure that has been advised by consultants from public service. And if we got this, we should be able to motivate the staff and probably have them on the straight and narrow. On publishing and printing services, we budgeted for 96. We have been allocated 43.1 with a shortfall of 52.9. Now, as I indicated, we have been planning to do a popular version of our report. This is because the feedback we get is that our reports are quite technical. And for people, you know, the common person, the common citizen needs to understand what we are saying. And in the popular version, we intend to do a simplified version of the budget implementation review report. These funds again have not been given to us, and it is still not going to be possible to do this, although we are trying also to look for donors. Monitoring and evaluation. We targeted to do both counties and national government. That is why we allocated 100.8 million. We have been allocated 25. That is a quarter of the amount. This will not even cover all the counties. We'll be doing the counties piecemeal per financial year, because 25 million is just not enough. And if indeed we do manage to get the extra staff as we have planned, then this staff may be idle, because without funds for them to move, it's going to be very difficult again. So this one is not in line with the objectives that we want to achieve as a country, as I have outlined before. Then there's the public sensitization role. And we have all, we can all accept that a lot of the common person, the Wanjiku, the Atieno, they don't understand. And we must keep doing this sensitization, and it is in many forms. Here we had budgeted for 68 million to do the public forums, but we were only given 7 million. This one, I don't know whether we'll have anything. It has been underfunded by 61 million. Then there is the rendering of advisories. We do litigations, arbitration, investigations, and mediation. I'm sure you've seen in the press a lot of counties are wrangling, and every so often we need to have them meet in our offices, and so that we can do mediation. Sometimes we need to go out there to the counties to find out what really is causing the problems. All this may not be possible. Our budget of 24.4 has been chopped by 15.4 to only 9. So we will do what we can with what is left. There are amendments to the COB Act of 2016 and the development of COB regulations. We have been wanting to present this, and Honorable Chair, you are aware, I think I intimated to you that we need to do public participation for us to resubmit the COB regulations as well as the amendments to the COB Act. Now, we have been given 0. So that tells you that within this coming financial year, we still cannot do the COB regulations, neither can we make any amendments to the COB Act as envisaged. So again, this is not going to be possible. There are a few other areas on page 15, and the next one is automation of the systems, which I know is close to your heart. We have both automating the exchequer process as well as the COB management information system. This is a reporting system where the counties will be uploading their budgets and the reports online, so that we don't have to handle a lot of paperwork. We budgeted 50 million for that. We have gotten 0. So this again is not going to be possible, so we can't talk of automation at 0. Number 7, that is underfunded, is to organize and to facilitate periodic capacity building workshops to select staff from MDAs and county governments. We get requests all the time. Sometimes they support us to an extent. They can pay our staff to get there. But again, if you ask me, that is compromising our independence. We need our own budget to do the capacity building. We budgeted 24, we got 0. So we can't do this sensitization. Again, it is dead on arrival. The last one, you might say it's not very important, number 8, is foreign travel. Now, foreign travel is also a form of capacity building to enable myself or my staff actually, ever since I joined the Office of the Control of Budget, I have never gone anywhere. This is my 6th year now. I have never gone anywhere. I have never done any benchmarking. I've not. So me, I didn't get any training. So I had to sort myself out. But that.
Na sijasikia makofi yake. Na pia mheshimiwa wetu Oloch, si amefanya kazi ya maana sana kwa kujenga dormitory. Your Excellency, on behalf of Nairobi, we want to thank you for supporting education in Nairobi.